evening, everyone. I'm Lauren, and I'm so happy to be here celebrating this amazing couple tonight. And I know I speak for Mike and Zainab when I thank all of you sincerely for being here. Less than 2 years ago, Zainab stood in my current position as she served as maid of honor in my wedding. And I'm honored to be returning the favor today. I have had the immense pleasure of knowing Zainab for a decade now. I lived across the hall from her our sophomore year of college at Indiana University. Cheers! And while we spent the first semester casually chatting in the hallway, we were best friends within a year of our first long, soul-bearing conversation, of which there have been countless since. I remember a time in college when I desperately needed a vent session, teetering perilously on the edge of a dramatic breakdown, as 20-year-old girls so often do. I needed my best friend. When I got Zainab's voicemail, I launched straight into my ordeal as if she'd picked up the phone. 5 minutes into my rant, I suddenly realized I'd forgotten she wasn't actually on the other end of the line. It went something like, "You know what I mean, right? Z? Oh my God, I totally forgot you were on the phone." When she returned my call later, it turns out she had actually also forgotten we weren't actually talking and had tried to respond to my question, only to laugh at herself. You know you have a special connection with someone when you can have a conversation with her voicemail. A few years ago, Zainab, Miriam, and I were having lunch at a mall in Bloomington, Indiana. We noticed a woman place an order at the Chinese counter in the food court, only to immediately have the tray knocked out of her hands as she walked toward her table. To our astonishment, the restaurant did not offer to replace her food. She sat down at a table dejected, clearly unable to double pay for her lunch. Without hesitation, Zainab suggested we buy her another lunch. We went to the Chinese counter and ordered another plate of food, then timidly approached her, explaining that we didn't feel it was right for her to go hungry. Tears filled her eyes as she realized what was happening. She thanked us profusely, and as we sat back down at the table with Miriam, we wiped away tears of our own, aware we'd just experienced something really powerful. It was a moment I'm sure I'll never forget, random kindness in its purest form. But that's just the kind of person Zainab is. She's a helper and a healer, and medical school only served to formalize her natural tendency to care for others. Nearly every week, she texts me with concerns about her patients, ambiguity in their prognosis weighing heavily on her heart. She tries her best to keep some distance, but it's clear just how much of herself she invests in each and every patient under her care. Zainab and Mike vowed their love to each other today, embarking on a lifelong adventure together. But this journey really began 6 years ago. I remember the first time Zainab told me about this guy she was picking up from the airport in St. Martin. A friend of ours from college engaged in not-so-subtle matchmaking when she told her friend Mike about this awesome girl named Zainab who also went to American University of the Caribbean. Mike emailed Zainab a picture of himself so she would recognize him at the airport. The email was forwarded to me within minutes for input. We both agreed he was cute and looked a bit like Matthew Fox, aka Dr. Jack Shepard from Lost. It's true. And when Zainab pulled up a baggage claim, Mike had no idea he was climbing into the car with his future wife. Let me address something before we get to the happy ending. Zainab is choosy. She knows what she wants and what she doesn't want. Countless times I've spent a good 45 minutes polishing her nails, only to her decide she doesn't like the color and take it off. She dated a little in college, but emotional connections with her past suitors can be described as lukewarm at best. I distinctly remember conversations with Zainab wondering aloud if she would feel a real connection with anyone, trying to decide how she would know the feeling when it finally came along. But that doubt washed away when she met Mike. They fit. Within weeks of meeting, they had settled into the effortless ease of lasting love. So while their marriage became official today, they have been building their future together since the day Mike's plane touched down on that island. So I would like to raise a glass to the friend who knows me so well I can chat with her voicemail, to that girl in the food court who bought a stranger's meal without a second thought, and to the man who's lucky enough to call her his wife. Congratulations, Mike and Zainab.